Hello and welcome to English 332, Writing for the Professions. I'm your professor, Dr. Matt Barton. And in this video, I wanted to just quickly go over the syllabus, poke around this D2L site a little bit with you, try to clear up a couple of points. I've been getting some emails from students already asking me about a few things. So I thought I would try to clear all this stuff up with D2L and the textbook for the class. But mainly, I just want to welcome you. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this semester. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. I love this stuff. It's fun material, but on the other hand, it's also very, very, very useful and practical material. I mean, just about all the stuff we'll do here, you don't have to really use your imagination too hard to see how it's going to be really useful to you in just about any career that you're interested in. So, I always get a lot of compliments about this class, and students tell me how useful it is. Former students that have graduated and gone on to their jobs tell me this is a really useful class, and they're really glad they took it. So I hope you'll have a similar experience. And I'll be using a D2L or Brightspace, whatever you want to call it, for most of the class. There are some activities that are be using this tool called McGraw-Hill Campus or Connect. And that can be a little bit confusing at first, but basically that's just the textbook. So instead of having just a regular hardcover book, I have an ebook, and this part of the ebook is exercises. So there's a lot of little interactive content or software that goes along with the textbook, and I think it's pretty neat. The students seem to like it, but again, it can be a little tricky to get started with it. But once you figure it out, I think you won't have any trouble. The only caveat is that the due dates are a little confusing. Not quite the thing, not the thing you really want to be confused about, I know. But let me just explain this. I'll put all the due dates for the class will be here on D2L, and they'll be listed on this calendar here. So you can see we have the calendar on the side. Another place to look at this is the materials, I think. Yeah, checklist. So you can click on that too, and you can see the assignments coming up. I don't have everything filled out yet. I'm going to be putting all that in as we go along. I still have a bunch of lectures to create. But just remember this calendar here, this is what you should really focus on in terms of what's coming up or what should I be working on next. Keep this in mind, this calendar. I say that because once you get into the campus or Connect, there might not be any due dates on there, or they might be different. It's just a little bit jumbled. If you care, I was told that it would be I could just sync up everything and I wouldn't have this problem, but you know how it goes sometimes. It is what it is, but just keep in mind, ignore the due dates there on campus or Connect. Just look at the due dates here and you'll be fine. All right, so let's take a quick look here at the syllabus. And I'm not going to go into any detail here really about the syllabus and the projects because we have all semester and I'll be going into detail when we get to these projects. But I just want to give you a quick idea of what the class will be like. So I'm looking here at this major project section. So the first thing we'll be doing is a career research report, and part of that, of course, is a resume. So you'll be, whatever your major is or whatever you're thinking about in terms of what you'd like to do once you graduate, you'll be doing some research into that, connecting with somebody in that field, looking at the Occupational Outlook Handbook, utilizing career services, learning like how much money you're going to make or how much money could you make doing this, or is this field growing, expanding, is it shrinking? It's all good stuff to know now before you actually, graduate and it's too late to do anything about it. Also, though, it's good to know these things so that you can better prepare yourself. There's a lot of times there's things that you might, once you get into a job, you might think, man, I wish I had known I should have taken this class, or I only wish I had done more work in this area. So anyway, it's all designed to give you a leg up, I guess, when you graduate. So that's the first project. And then all the other ones here all tie into one big project, which is a For Dummies book. So you've probably seen those, like For Dummies Guide to Hockey, for Dummies Guide to Public Speaking, whatever. There's a million of them, right? So you'll basically be working on a project like that. You get to pick whatever the topic is. I'll give you some guidance later on to help you with that. But you'll be ultimately writing 2 or maybe 3 chapters of that book. And then along with that, or building up to that, there's a proposal where you give some ideas about For Dummies book ideas, and then we kind of workshop those. And then there's a PowerPoint presentation that goes with that proposal. And then there's a tutorial video that's, on the one hand, it's instructional because you'll be showing a process from your book. Like here's, basically step by step showing people how to do a process. But it's also kind of a marketing tool as well, because in the real world, this happens all the time. You can see these For Dummies guides. There'll be videos that go along with it. And at the end of the video, they'll say, for more information, buy the book. So it's kind of a combination of things. But anyway, that'll be a lot of fun. And then these minor projects here, the Connect activities, I've already mentioned those. Those are the chapter activities that go with the ebook. Ed puzzles will be videos like this, but there'll be questions in there for you to answer. So there'll be a PowerPoint presentation going on behind me, and every now and then I'll stop and say, I'd like to hear your opinion on this, or, blah, blah, blah. And the video will stop and you can type in your answer. And that's 10% of the grade. And then this other stuff is pretty standard, writing class stuff, rough drafting, peer reviews. So you'll never just have a final draft that you turn in without any help or advice. Instead, you'll turn in a rough draft, you'll get some feedback on that, you'll edit it, and then you'll turn in your final draft later. So other than that, the rest of this stuff I think is fairly self-explanatory. The main thing I would do if I were you now is just kick around on this D2L site a little bit. Make sure you know how to get to the information you need. And then go over here to this calendar section and start looking at these due dates coming up. We do have this first assignment, Grammar and Mechanics Refresher, coming up on January 12th. So you can go ahead and jump into that. And you'll notice that's one of the assignments on Connect. Okay, I think that'll do it. If you do have problems with D2L, I recommend that you call the Husky Help Desk, and that number's 320-308-7000, or you can just get online and go to the Husky Help Desk and get some information that way. If you have trouble with Connect or McGraw-Hill, what you can do is when you click this link here, one of the options will be help or support, and you can chat with somebody that way and get some help. But it's usually what people struggle with is things like cookies. So if it asks you, do you want to enable cookies? I think, it didn't ask me that, but I think you have to say yes for the software to work. But again, if you got any questions like that, technical stuff, I might know the answer, I might not. I would just use the tech support from Husky Help Desk, or the the support from McGraw-Hill, because they'll definitely know. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. If you do have other questions, you can certainly just email me, or you come by the office. I'm in Building 51, room 158. I'm in there mostly in the afternoons, except for Fridays. Or you can come here to the discussions page on the D2L site. I got a forum here called Questions About Class. You can see some people have already been in there asking questions, which is great. But if it's something that you don't mind other people seeing, you could post it there. Of course, if it's something private, just email me instead. So I think that'll do it. Again, happy to answer any questions. Glad to see you here. I hope you have a great semester with me in English 332, and I'll see you soon.